Celebrities keep getting caught lying about their plastic surgery, but are they actually lying? You see, a lot of celebrities say, I've never had Botox, and we wonder how they're so wrinkle-free and they maintain this wrinkle-free appearance when they say that it was just olive oil and sunscreen and then they launch a skincare product. But as a medical esthetician who has actually worked with many doctors and dermatologists and plastic surgeons and has actually gotten to speak to many doctors, derms, and plastic surgeons who literally work on celebrities, I'm here to expose the secrets that celebrities don't want you to know about. And truthfully, celebrities and their medical history is none of our business. But if they're using their appearance to sell products and blatantly lying about treatments and procedures, that is our business. And while it's not my intention to call anyone out, and I actually love many, if not all of these celebrities, I still don't think it's fair that celebrities can skirt the rules. So again, I want to spill the tea. I want to share exactly how they get away with it and why they might not actually technically be lying. Just the way this technically isn't tea. It's water with liquid IV in it. I am obsessed with liquid IV, and it is the only reason that I stay hydrated. Stanley. Let's talk about the Botox claim. There are so many celebrities who say, I've never had Botox. And while that may be true, you see, Botox is a brand name. That's like saying, I've never had Kraft mac and cheese. Maybe that's true because you've never had the box of Kraft, but have you ever had macaroni and cheese? Or you could say, I've never used Charmin toilet paper. It might be true that you've never used that brand of toilet paper, but assuming you've used toilet paper before, right? That is exactly what these celebrities are doing. What? You see, Botox is a brand name. Botox is owned by Allergan, and it's what's known as a neuromodulator. It basically paralyzes your muscles so that they cannot send signals. And the way that we animate, the way that we move is from our body sending signals that go to our brain and cause a muscle to contract. But if that signal is blocked, we can't contract, and therefore the skin can't wrinkle. But Botox isn't the only neuromodulator out there. There's things like Xeomin or Dysport. Those are just like different brand names. So if you've never had the Kraft mac and cheese, maybe you've had like the Whole Foods mac and cheese or the Annie's mac and cheese or like the budget version. This is exactly how celebrities are lying without lying to us, saying that they've never had Botox, which may be true. Maybe they got Xeomin or Dysport. Maybe they got another treatment that does pretty much the exact same thing as a neuromodulator, preventing them from having wrinkles, preventing them from being able to raise their eyebrows or scrunch their eyebrows together to create this 11 line in the glabellar complex. If you're such a skintellectual, you now know that this is the glabellar complex. Share that with your friends. They'll be really impressed. Anyways, that's how they technically get away with it. So the next time you hear a celebrity or even a person say, oh, I've never had Botox, you have to think or you have to wonder, well, have they ever had other neuromodulators? Because it's really unfair for a celebrity to make us believe that they've never had any injections in their face and they're just naturally wrinkle-free, and it's this cream that they use that we should go buy for all this money. Looking at you, Jennifer Lopez, Kate Middleton, Gwyneth Paltrow, But at the same time, they have had other things that contribute to their appearance. And we gotta talk about nose jobs, okay? Some celebrities have been caught blatantly lying about their nose jobs. Bella Hadid, or is it Gigi Hadid? It's one of Hadid's, you guys. I'm really good with music. I'm terrible at actors and actresses. Someone educate me. But we gotta talk about nose jobs because yes, many celebrities have gotten many nose jobs. There are plastic surgeons who believe that people like Kim Kardashian have even had 5 or 6 nose jobs, otherwise called rhinoplasties. But there is a way for celebrities to get a nose job effect without ever getting a nose job. You see, a rhinoplasty is when a surgeon or a facial reconstructive surgeon goes into the nose and literally reshapes it. They can shave the bone, they can extend the bone, they can break the nose and then rebuild it from the inside out. However, there's something called a liquid nose job, which is using fillers, very similar to what people get put in their lips, but put in the nose. Now, there are different types of fillers. For the lips, there's specifically things like Restylane and Juvederm, but those hyaluronic acid fillers are a little bit more soft and squishy. There's also hyaluronic acid fillers that are much more stiff. And usually when injecting the cheeks, the jaw, or the nose for these liquid nose jobs, that's what is being used. You see, if you take a little needle and you put one of these stiff fillers right here on the nose, it can actually make the nose look more straight. It could hide any bumps on the nose if someone injects around the bump, and it can actually make the nose look smaller because we're extending it this way, which creates a little bit more of a highlight point. Again, kind of faking the look of a nose job without ever getting one. There's also this trend of having like an upturned nose. I don't know exactly how or why this became a trend. When I was a baby, my nose was actually so upturned. I looked like a little pig. People used to say oink oink to me, and then I became obsessed with cows, so that's how my nickname became Cassie. But anyways, I had a very upturned nose as a child. My parents were very worried about it, and eventually it kind of turned down. But there is something to be said about this plastic surgery trend really emulating the youth. And in order to get this kind of lifted nose, this lifted tip, a lot of people do go under the knife, but you don't always have to. Some people do get that stiff hyaluronic acid filler injected right into the tip of the nose, giving it an upturned look. And you bet that celebrities do this all the time. You see, sometimes liquid nose jobs don't even cause bruising. And that's how a celebrity on a Friday could show up to a red carpet looking one way, and by Monday at their next event, it looks like they had a nose job. But everyone's like, no, she didn't have the bandages or he didn't have the bruising. They couldn't have had a nose job. But why is the nose different? Liquid nose jobs. They are a thing. Not saying they're good because they can spread, but you bet it's a thing. And we have to talk about facelifts. Not just facelifts, but endoscopic brow lifts and the multiple treatments and procedures that people can do to give the face a lifted look without ever going under the knife. You see, traditional facelifts were literally cutting around or into the hairline and the ear, stretching the skin on the face, pulling it taut, and then literally lifting the face and cutting off the excess skin. Gruesome, I know. And while facelifts do work, they can be very scary. There's specifically some facelift trends going around on TikTok right now that are a little terrifying.
Oh, what a good looking older gentleman. He kind of reminds me of one of my neighbors growing up. Oh, they're pulling on his cheek. What happened to his face? Oh, what a little grandma. She kind of reminds me a little bit of my grandma. Oh, what a sweet looking woman. What'd they do to grandma?
But you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But there are many ways that celebrities can fake facelifts without actually getting one. And there are many facelifts that look much more natural. You see, if you stretch the skin like this and cut off the excess, you might look good in a photo, but when you're moving or animating, you can bet that things don't lay properly. Well, there's something called an endoscopic brow lift. There are also PDO threads, or, facelift threads that are terrible, as well as many treatments and devices that celebs can use to tighten the skin. That first one, an endoscopic brow lift, is basically going in by the scalp, lifting the brow from the inside out. You don't have a full facelift, but you can bet that it gives you a lifted appearance. There's also thread lifts, and I hate these. I've helped to do them on others. I've never done them on myself, and I do not help do them on others anymore because they are bad. But they are basically threads, these little barbed threads, imagine fish hooks on a string, that get inserted into the face and pulled upwards. And so it pulls the skin. And that might look good right as you leave the office, but if you smile, you can kind of see the line underneath the skin. And on top of that, what happens if the threads on one side break? Half of your face is drooping. It's absolutely terrifying, and it's horrible for the people that get it done because they think it's going to look amazing on them, and then it ends up looking less than optimal. And celebrities usually go for the endoscopic brow lift. It is a little bit more expensive, but it's less risky than the thread lifts. But I've seen thread lifts come and go in cycles. They're like in, and then they're out, and then they're in again. And some celebrities have been seen having some like bunching underneath the skin, which looks a lot like a thread lift. Again, allegedly. We're not trying to expose anyone here or pick on anyone, but it's important to know, especially if people are trying to sell you, their products, their dietary supplements, their beauty routine, when you can literally see that they've had work done that they're not disclosing. And the hardest one to deal with are those extra treatments. Things like radiofrequency microneedling, skin tightening, collagen induction treatments. These are technically not plastic surgery. So when a celebrity says, I haven't had plastic surgery, technically radiofrequency microneedling isn't plastic surgery. And radiofrequency microneedling is amazing. Again, I love Secret by Cutera, but there's a couple of others as well. There's like the Morpheus 8. There's a lot of great treatments out there that, yes, are non-invasive. You can literally go outside same day, and other than the great results, no one can tell that you've had work done because you technically haven't had work. You haven't gone under anesthesia. You didn't get knocked out and someone's not inside of your face cutting and snipping and stitching, right? But there are many celebrities that get many of these treatments regularly, and they don't always disclose them. And that's why for me, as an esthetician who does these treatments on others and gets them done on myself, and I use so many little things on myself as well that have helped me so much when it comes to my facial contour and my facial structure, collagen induction, fine lines, wrinkles, etc. Even things that I use on my neck and my body. Oh my God, I love this on my neck and my body. If you don't know about this, you gotta check your priorities. You gotta check your Watch Later playlist. You know how to search Cassandra Bankson skincare tools or Cassandra Bankson devices at home, but you can bet that celebrities use these things too. Not to mention, they're also getting the pro ones in clinics. Things like cool sculpting. They can literally say, I've never had liposuction, and they haven't, but they had their fat frozen off their body with the use of cool sculpting. And you can see how a celebrity can skirt the rules by saying, I've never had liposuction, never did that, but the cool sculpting really did help to shape their body. I think it's so important that you know about these things so that when a celebrity is trying to push something on you or lie without lying about the treatments that they have or hadn't had done, you can remind yourself that they've probably done or are doing a lot of these things. things. And that way, when you go to look at yourself in the mirror, you're not comparing your reflection to somebody else's retouch, because retouching is a whole different topic. Also, if you don't know the power of retouching or the secrets of the modeling industry, I've actually shared some secrets of the modeling industry back when I used to model regularly as a main job. And boy, some of the things that I have learned about how you can shape your body and trick and manipulate a camera, fascinating. And that's also why I'm so passionate about this, because when I was young and I had acne and I had issues with my body, I would compare myself to celebrities just because I didn't know the tricks and the tools that they were using. And then when I figured it out, I was like, wow, I went through so many years of hating myself, comparing myself to these other people. It's not their fault that I was doing that. That was 100% on me. But I can't help but wonder if I would have felt better about myself knowing that my reflection in the mirror was what I was comparing to someone else's altered image of beauty. And they've gone through so many treatments, spent so much money, spent so much time, and yes, have done so much photo retouching to get that look. And it's not fair for me to compare myself to them. You know, they say comparison is the thief of joy, and isn't that the truth? And I hope that you understanding some of these secrets and how celebrities can technically lie without lying helps you to not only realize these things, but to not compare yourself to them, to not buy whatever juice Gwyneth Paltrow is putting up her butt these days. Because again, yes, she does do that. If you don't know about that, there's that too. Or, you know, what waist trainer a Kardashian is using, or, you know, what new facial cream has erased the wrinkles off of this other celebrity. If you understand the science of how these things work, you can actually do what's right for your skin. If you understand why vitamin C is so good for your body, as well as for building collagen in your entire body and your skin, you can know what kind of vitamin C supplements to get, or you could just eat a bell pepper. Did you know that bell peppers have more vitamin C than an orange? Again, you're such a savvy skintellectual. Go impress your friends with your knowledge about bell peppers and vitamin C. Anyways, this is really a video for 16-year-old me, someone who was struggling, someone who hated my reflection every single day. And hear me out, you cannot hate yourself into looking good. You cannot hate your skin into being clear. And you cannot hate your body into being strong and powerful and taking care of you every day. You are beautiful. And it is 100% okay to want to make changes to your body or your beauty routine or improve things while still loving yourself as who you are. And if you take one thing from this video, it's not just that these are the secrets that celebrities use, but it's to remember these things when you are looking at yourself in the mirror, and give yourself a little bit of love, because your body carries you throughout every single day. Your skin protects you and waterproofs you. And what you have to offer this world, it really has nothing to do with what you look like. And as a medical esthetician, it's my job to help people with their skin, understanding what treatments work for them, but also to help them feel beautiful, regardless of what treatments they are or aren't getting done. And I hope that you can think about that critically. If you have questions, you know how to Google the search, you know how to search for Cassandra Bankson, because we've probably spoken about some of these things. I've been making these videos for 14 years now. Can you believe it? If my YouTube channel was a child, it would be a legit teenager. What the fuck? Anyways, I hope that you now know the things that celebrities do, and I hope you remember to always be beautiful, both inside and out. I love you, and I can't wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye. So good. So good.